Carm Capriato, the Service Aftermarkets Podcast Pioneer, with the gold standard of aftermarket business podcasts. Join me for Aftermarket Insights as we advance the aftermarket. And as always, know that you'll learn just one thing. Find us on your favorite podcast listening app and RemarkableResults.biz or on my YouTube channel. Hey everybody, Carm Capriato. Welcome, Remarkable Results Radio. I got a great guest, John Gustafson. You all know John has been on before, but we have an incredible update to give you on what's going on in John's world, and I know that you're going to be able to learn a lot from it. But before we get started, a lot of press releases coming out about the right to repair, and I just want to kind of make a mention. I don't know where you stand on this legislation for having the right to repair all the products that you own, including your vehicle, and getting data. But a very large portion of the automotive aftermarket is behind this. RepairAct.com, go to it. And they're suggesting that you send another letter to Congress, even though you may have already said it. I believe there's 58 House members, I believe, if not senators. I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't quite remember. Oh dear, shame on me. But it's close to wanting to get to the floor for a vote. So I think we want to jump behind that if you are in support of that. Welcome, John Gustafson. Hello, John.
Good morning.
Good to have you. Now, here's some interesting things, everyone, and I would love you to all stop and think, how does John work 6 weeks from his home in Boulder City, Nevada, and 1 week at his shop in beautiful Huntington Beach, California? How the hell does he do that? Man, I live 8 miles away from my shop, and I'd love to be able to do that. Anyway, he's in Huntington Beach right now. Got a great business since 1971, you and your brother. I just admire you and what you've been able to accomplish. But John's in an interesting place as it comes to succession. No family, right, John?
There is no one to pass it to.
No one to pass it to. And you are not in the mood to sell it, except to have an internal succession plan.
We don't think that a corporate buyer would have the core values and run the business successfully into the future.
And that is, and I believe there's an awful lot of people out there in the boomer class right now that would love to get out, John, and they just don't know what lever to push, what decision to make. I think there's some value in this episode to share amongst the friends that you have. Yeah, I'd love to sell my business. It would be great to get up and get out. But you know what? I've got some people, they've been here for such a long time and they're great. Yeah. How can I pull this off? How could I pull this off? And when did you start thinking this through?
We've been working on it for the last 5 years. About 4 years ago, we came across the Gino Wickman series on traction.
Yeah.
The EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, which we had about 80% right before we read the book. The way we ran business was all right, but we learned in that last 20% about the meeting pulse, about the agenda for the weekly meeting, and about the quarterlies, the annual meeting, and how to structure leadership with accountability charts and all the pieces that we learned inside of that learning.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, okay. So this episode has a little to do with EOS and how John has been able to pull off his succession. John, you read the book, you watched some videos on EOS. How did you bring it to your people? And then how did you incubate them saying, oh, there's something here? And then ultimately you get to the point where, you guys could take over this business. Give us a little history lesson.
There were several episodes on Remarkable Results.
Yeah.
With Gary Barrett on EOS. And after reading the books, watching the podcasts,
yeah,
and we could have gone to EOS and paid to have a facilitator come out. And we thought, well, we're smart enough. We'll take the resources and we'll build the agendas and the pieces you need to build the EOS process, and we'll build them, see if we can do it. I took what we could get out of the reading and out of the episodes, and I went to our people and I said, here's an idea that I think has got merit. And we participated together and we built out the pieces.
So Did your team realize while you were embracing EOS in the company that this was going to lead to a succession plan?
Not at that time.
Okay. How'd you get there?
In the vision traction organizer component of EOS, there is a 3-year plan and a 10-year target. And both of those contained transfer leadership to the next generation, because that's how I saw it.
Yeah, that's how you saw it. I mean, that was part of your plan.
And they bought in that it needs to transfer to the next generation. And in the process of EOS, weekly meetings and leadership process, we began to use that as an issue to IDS, or identify, discuss, and solve. And we put the pieces together. And now we're at a point where we can take it to the rest of the staff. And we have a pretty strong bench that has been learning for the last, EOS has been in process for 3.5 years. And we've got a pretty strong bench that they have their weekly meetings per department: mechanical, collision, leadership, training academy, North Shop. All of those components have their weekly leadership meetings, and we identify and discuss and solve issues, and we put them on our to-do list. We knock them out for the next week, and we move along. So looking ahead at the quarterly and annual meetings that we conduct with the EOS theme, they know that there's an alignment to put them in the driver's seat. And I've proven it with my time in Boulder City. We sold some property in Huntington Beach and used the money and built a nice house in Boulder City overlooking Lake Mead. And it's a beautiful place. And I can be there and I can work from home via the internet, I can be involved in the weekly meetings. They start on time, they end on time, they have content that's known in advance, and we solve problems. We solve issues. Because in life and in business, there are issues every day
I love that
that need to be
word.
dealt with.
Yeah, issues versus problems. A question that goes back to you have the mechanical and collision and the North Shop and Training Academy, and I can't remember, there was a fifth, but do they all meet individually, and are you part of them, or does each of the leaders of each of those different groups meet together so that everyone is on the same page? How does that work?
The leaders meeting has the top 3.
Okay.
And then the mechanical shop has 2 of the 3, and I'm not included.
Okay.
I don't need to be. And they take issues that they find and that we find in the leaders module, and they handle them.
Got it. I want to be able to make a correlation to your size. And do you mind telling the audience what your volume is?
The mechanical side, the collision side, and the North Shop, which is a mechanical shop only, we are on pace for 12.5 million in sales. And our target for the fiscal year is 14 million. So we're 1.5 million short. It doesn't mean we're not profitable.
Right.
But we're not hitting goal. And we have some economic headwinds that are politically charged and some other
exactly. Consumer
reasons.
confidence. Yeah, exactly right. The reason that I asked for that, and I want our listeners to say, well, John's got this really big shop and he's got, room to have all these people. No, it doesn't matter what size you have if you've got great people, good disciplines. And what I keep hearing from this is that EOS has really helped you solidify and carve out great disciplines.
Yes, and it really doesn't matter what size the shop is. If you are in this profession and you're in it to be successful long term, and you use a method, coaching or EOS or any method that solidifies your thoughts and gets your thoughts to action, then you can really do anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of cars to go around, I think, in every market. You have to learn to attract the right people for your business, the right kind of customer, and treat them with respect and the usual help first and right attitude, solve their problems effectively, and they repeat and refer.
Exactly. Well, I want to take a time just to talk about EOS for a minute. Yeah, I had Barry Barrett. I think we did 7 or 8 episodes on the entire EOS process.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry is a facilitator. Many do remember Barry as a great service advisor trainer many years past. Continues to be a great friend. And we started to do episodes with shop owners that so bought in to the EOS, just like you have. And our classroom page on our website, remarkableresults.biz, we have a couple of clusters of EOS episodes. So if anyone wants to jump in and say, wow, this thing with John is cool, what do I do? Well, of course, you need to go out and read the book Traction, but you also need to listen and or watch the episodes that we've done and relate yourself to a guy like a John and an AJ Neely who have actually bought in and are running great businesses. And there's a lot of young people that are doing this because it's the right thing to do. But here's
Mm-hmm.
John looking at it in a succession opportunity by shaping and disciplining and forming the team so that as John, however you structure, you're getting paid, he's got the confidence that this team can put that check in his hand every month.
And I can give away the company to these people to run, and they'll pay me.
With the confidence that you have set them on a trajectory. Like, let me see, the spaceship is going to go up and land on the moon. And I'm so confident that it's going to get there and come back
Mm-hmm.
because of all the work we did to get there.
It is core values, and it is the future focus. And then dealing with problems on a weekly basis or issues. And issues are not just problems, they're opportunities. So an issue comes up that a drive-through vehicle inspection is a good idea. And so when we have our weekly meetings, that is on the issues list. And we can say at what point and where do we put it in the funding for it, the cost, the benefit, and we discuss it, and we either move forward or we table it. There's opportunities in issues. It's not all problems.
I love about what you just said. Here's the thing. What about drive-through inspection? And I'm speaking to my listener right now. You may have that great idea, and it may just be floating around in the gray cells and never find the light of day out of your
Right.
mouth to your people because you just say, oh my God, I don't need another thing to do. But if the team was involved like yours is, all these incredible ideas come out. And it doesn't mean it's right today, but now you've got buy-in and you've got excitement going. And in 4 or 5 months, someone could say, we kind of table that thing, but I think it may be time to bring that back up and talk about it. What a wonderful way to move a company forward, John, especially, I mean, you've got a big sales goal. And how are we going to do? Okay. I love the fact that we may not meet the 14 mil, but if we're profitable, that's all that matters.
Yeah, we have a goal, and the factors around the economy are going to hold us below that goal, but it doesn't mean we're not profitable.
You'd probably get together with the team and say, okay, let's talk about our costs. Let's talk about our margin. And you probably, and I'm only assuming, maybe made some tweaks in a budget or in your actual operation.
Every week.
See? Yeah. You can't
Every
ignore
week.
that.
The leaders meeting is an hour once a week. The individual department meetings runs 30 minutes. The agenda is tight. It's the EOS agenda that we have transposed into an Excel worksheet, and we just go down the list, and there's only a few things that you need to change each week, and that's the deletion of to-do list items that are done and the addition of issues that you wish to present. And you don't get to every issue every week. You run out of time because they start on time and they end on time.
So you are in Huntington Beach, and Wednesday is your meeting day, right?
Today at 11:30.
Okay. And here's the deal. When John's in Boulder City, in Nevada, you are holding that, again, as you said, over the internet. And when you're there every 6 weeks, you're holding that face to face. I find it challenging to many shop owners today that when I talk about, hey, do you have a coach? No, I don't want a coach. No one can tell me how to run my business thing. Okay, there's certain attitudes out there. I get that. But For the people that are really open to find new levels of success, they say, I love what John says. I've heard EOS talked about on Carm's show. I know a friend of mine, they've talked about it. How the hell do I implement it?
Yeah, you read the book, watch the episodes, and start.
And start. Thank you. Sometimes, let me see, I want to do a garden. Well, get the shovel, put your foot on it, and turn over the dirt.
Start.
That could be the title of our episode. Just
start. Yeah. And you have to have your ego in check too. Everybody has an ego, and it's okay, but it has to be in check.
Look, at super success to you on your continued succession. Your people have got to. Can you just share an example of one of your leaders who recognized this incredible opportunity and stepped up like never before because they recognize an ownership opportunities in front of them?
So I'm generation 1. The generation 2 leaders are there's 2 men in our leaders group. And there are 4 or 5 people in each of the collision, mechanical, and North Shop groups. And they know that the succession process is developing. And we put it in the weekly issues list, and we solve small problems like who's included, how long do they have to have tenure before they're included in the future bonus plan. Because we can take, at this point, we can take the profits at the end of the fiscal year. I get my share, and I give them their share. It's a nice bonus.
John, is the bonus cash or shares?
It's payroll.
It's cash. It's income.
Yeah.
Will they ever earn into buying the shares, or are you just going to give them?
So one of the future issues that we have out there, we massage it each time we meet, is if there are shares involved, there's a lot of legal cost, employee stock ownership plans, ESOPs, and other methods have some pretty expensive pieces. In our process at the current time, unless we find a better way, is to include those junior leaders in Gen 3 in a bonus plan. Treat them like owners, have them operate and produce results like owners, and bonus them like owners. Now, once they've proven themselves, this generation 3, and these guys are in their 20s, once they've proven themselves and Gen 2 has trained Gen 3 to lead, then I can say at a point in the future that I will sell you the company, or I'll sell you half the company, and here's the price. And they have the money that they're earning from operations to pay that price. So they don't have to go to the bank and borrow money to buy a company.
Exactly. But do they know that money should not be spent on a new motorcycle?
Well, the controller on our team doesn't sign a check for a motorcycle.
Explain that one. I don't get that.
So the money that the company makes at the end of the fiscal year is a pool. We only have to save, we have reasonable reserves after 53 years that the money we make for the year is dispensed as bonus. So we don't pay the federal government much money.
Okay.
We certainly do through payroll deductions and lots of other reasons that we pay our fair share, but the company profits are reinvested into our people. When it comes to the point that I don't attend and I'm not part of the daily operations, I have essentially sold them the company. And we can write a contract where they are shareholder owners of the company, and the profits they make in the company pay off the debt that they'll have to me for having sold them the company.
Hey, Apex 2024 registration is now open at aapexshow.com. Now, Apex has an incredible value for the service professional, shop owner, technician, and service advisor. Joe's Garage is your place to hang out with 10 working bays and real live working conditions. You'll find special seminars on Audi, VW, BMW, Mercedes, Tesla, under the hood diagnostics, advanced drivability, ADAS calibration, transmission training from ATRA, and more. Business and sales training on mastering organizational skills, time management, leading your team, and driving profits, among others. This year, the training courses are some of the best offered ever with the industry's best and brightest trainers and coaches. This year's Apex 2024 will have more product demos, trending training, marketing and social media support to help you grow your career, sales, and profits. Remember, if you earn your living in the aftermarket, then Apex is the expo for you. Continue listening as we bring you the latest from Apex 2024 and save the date, November 5th through the 7th. Don't hesitate. Go to aapexshow.com. Hey, let's face it. Your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. Napa Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing tracks to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, will be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NapaTrax, that's NapaTracs.com. Hey, ever wonder how your labor rate compares to your market and state? You now have a site where you can confidentially upload your rate and see other labor rates published in your market. LaborRateTracker.com is an important site to know about. Currently, the database has over 1,000 shops participating and growing every day. But there's more to setting your rates than finding out what others charge. You should look at the labor rates in your state and town to gain a complete picture of the labor rate landscape. Hey, it's easy. Get market intelligence like never before at LaborRateTracker.com. I'm still confused. I like what you're saying. I do understand it. But the junior leaders, Gen 3, they get bonus-like owners for potentially having a real piece of it someday. But if say, for example, I get a $50,000 bonus at the end of the year and I'm a young 20-some-year-old, you're saying that doesn't necessarily go to me. You're saying it goes to me in cash, but how do I use that to buy a share?
Well, that's up to you. You don't buy the share. I'm going to give it to you.
Oh.
In the end,
Oh.
I'm going to sell you the company on credit. I am the bank at that point.
You're the bank.
And
okay. I got it. So you're paying them really well. You're going to sell it to them on credit. And that on credit is where you're the bank, if you will.
So they collectively have to run the company correctly, and it will continue to be profitable unless something crazy happens, that they will be able to, out of profits, pay me what I would have normally drawn as the owner.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Love it.
So essentially, I'm giving it away.
Was this a difficult decision to get to, formulating over so many years that you've got this structure here?
It took a while.
Okay.
It took a while to figure out how to make it work.
But you're happy with the structure. Your people obviously are happy. They're working like owners.
And when I get to Huntington Beach, I get to drive the courtesy shuttle and take the customers home and bring them back.
Yeah.
And I get to be the undercover boss.
Yeah, I love that. That is just too cool.
And I hear the great stories from these people. Our team is doing a remarkable job of treating our customer correctly.
Wow. Customer experience, man. We actually should do a total episode on being an undercover boss. I love that in concept. Wow, that is so cool. Because
it's good.
You're not there that much. You got brand new customers that don't know John Gustafson. They've really never interacted with you over X amount of years.
Right.
You're just the
I'm the guy in the driveway.
yeah, you're the retired guy who's got a little side gig going on, and they'll tell you anything.
They open right up.
What's the first question you ask them?
Customer?
Yeah.
Oh, I just ask them, how's their Saturday? How's your day? You having a good day? And they just open right up.
Did you ever ask them, how did we do for you?
It comes up.
It does.
We have a practice where when I go to get a customer, we park his car in the front next to the office so that when we get back, they claim, there's my car. There it is right there. And they're excited that they get to get a ride back, get their car, and it's parked right up front.
Yeah.
They're thrilled. They go inside and pay the bill and
Yeah.
get in their car and go on their way.
You say the word courtesy. There's no charge for this concierge service?
No.
Got it.
Built into the process.
It's in there, like Prego. All right. Summer boot camp, man. Tell me about this 13 to 18-year-olds. Again, we've done a show on this recently called Camp Drive. And
I like
it
that
was
show.
the thrill that I had when people say, hey, Carm, where'd this offer come from? Denise Weston and her husband out in South Dakota. We're kind of formulating the idea, John. And if you've not listened or seen, you basically what's so cool is to actually watch the video of this podcast, where I had these 3 young students who were actually right there live. We specifically recorded on a Saturday while they were there. And I had goosebumps interviewing these young people.
I saw both the original and the young people talking to you.
Yeah.
Our process is during summer break at school, Easter break, holiday break at the end of the year, we have Intro to Auto. We invite on our company newsletter and text blast the fact that we have openings in the Intro to Auto class. And we accept 12-year-olds all the way to 20. We limited it to 10. Sometimes we get 12. We bring them in from 8 to noon, Monday through Friday. Come in the morning. They learn a few things on the big 100-inch display we have in the training center. And then we take them out in the shop. We teach them from the tires up. We teach them about tires and things. We do electronics. We've got some test boards that they build. And at the end, we have them write an essay of what they learned for the week and did they enjoy it. We get some marvelous responses. And we think some of these young people will go on to the junior colleges and the paid service training companies and be somebody. And it's our intent that we're just giving back to expose them to the greater transportation economy, but in particular, what we do in the way of mechanical service and collision.
John, we're doing some of this around the country, but we're not doing enough of it. And if we're not going to go out and talk to the superintendents and the principals and the counselors and even to the parents, what a great way to expose this essential skilled trade. Because there's a lot of people out there, young people, that are going to be masters with their hands, be it welding and carpentry and electrical and all these skilled trades. And if there's any one of those skilled trades that's moving faster than the speed of sound from a technology perspective, it's us.
We see it, and we bring a vendor from Opus with a tool, and we talk to the car, and they can operate windows, and they can hold the technology in their hands. And there's some pretty good excitement.
I can't imagine. So it's a week-long, 12 to 20-year-olds. You bring in 10 or 12 young people, and it's 8 to noon, Monday through Friday. And it's called an summer automotive boot camp.
Intro to Auto Boot Camp.
Intro to Auto Boot Camp. Did it take a lot to come up with the different stations to pull somebody from their normal workload? There's a lot of people say, I don't want to interrupt my business. No, interrupt your business.
Because we have all the facility, there isn't anything that we can't teach. So we go into the Intro to Auto essentially unscripted.
Okay.
And we meet the young people and we talk to them. We show them what the transportation economy is. Based on their responses and how excited they are, we'll go down any path that we come across. If they want to do welding, we take them into the shop and we weld. It just depends on what they want. And the instructors are on our staff, and they take a break from their day-to-day for 4 hours, and they just join the kids, the young people, in a little training and a little fun, and they're in the classroom, but they're in the shop. We have a number of the little Briggs and Stratton engines, and we teach them what engines, how they breathe, and they begin to understand how they breathe, and then we make them run. So they get to play with gas and fire and noise, and we let them modify the exhaust. And there's whichever way it goes, whichever path the course takes is where we take it.
There's not any different stations, but this 10 or 12 young person group just keeps moving to, as a whole, around. They'll learn about the breathing and the smaller engines together. No stations.
No stations set up. I mean, welding is set up, and the Briggs and Strattons are set up, but we either get to them or we don't.
Got it. Okay. Where do you find the young people? Is it through social media?
Social media.
Got it. Probably sells out, I mean, within days.
It's packed. We could do one a month.
Why not?
Well, they got to go to school during the regular part of the year.
No, I get that. No, I'm sorry, in the summer. June, July, August?
We could have more.
When do they go back to school in California?
Early September.
Early September, okay.
We have the local high school, Huntington Beach High School, auto shop program in our training center.
Whoa, explain that to me. I mean, that's interesting.
The high school
Students come there?
The high school's 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
There were last year we did September through June, and we started with 35 and ended with about 22 students, and they had a couple of project cars, and it was our first year. The high school paid our instructor, but we gave them the space. And this year, I'm not sure how we're going to handle it yet, but there are 40 students signed up from the high school. We don't know how many are going to show or stick, that are coming into our high school auto shop class in our training facility Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4.
Wow. Tuesdays through Thursday? I mean, is it 3 days or just Tuesday and Thursday?
Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday, 2 to 4. The students that have signed up for automotive at the high school level will come to your place.
They will walk 2 blocks and end up in our training center.
Do you think that's the key, that you're so close? Or say, if, for example, I'm a shop owner and, I love this, I want to do this, you think they could get bust?
It's up to the school district.
It has to do with money and maybe politics. I know here in Western New York, in New York State, we have standalone schools like that, vocational schools, where 8 or 9 high schools would, send their students in there for all the skilled trades, all in one place.
Here's a future thought that we're having, and I did hear that on a conversation you were having with someone else.
Yeah.
We have a 20,000 square foot building just to our south that we have access to the gate, from our facility to that building.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a firing kiln manufacturing company. Gentleman that owns it is not going to sell it or pass it along to anybody. He's going to retire. And when he does, we may be able to buy this building and make an industrial arts complex out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And have the school district then bus the students into those elective classes at that facility.
Wow.
And we can partition off the inside for all of the welding, woodwork, sheet metal, auto
carpentry,
trades,
electrical, all that.
Yep.
John, you're thinking so large. This is brilliant stuff.
Well, I've got time to do that because the crew runs the company.
Yeah.
Through EOS, they are leaders. They know what to do.
That is the perfect ending to this episode, because you basically summed it up. You've worked your butt off all these years, but smartly to get into the particular position you're in. Mm-hmm. When did you end up going to Boulder City in Las Vegas area?
So that started out as vacation.
Okay.
Travel to Lake Mead, go boating, fishing, skiing. we did that enough that we left a boat out there. And then after a while, we bought a building to put the boat in. And then after a while, bought a house out there and stopped staying in the motel. And eventually, enough trips out. You can do everything from out in this part of the world in Boulder City, off-roading, boating, flying. There's an airport in town. I'm a pilot, so I fly back and forth from California to Boulder City. So it's an hour trip for me.
How long ago? 5 years it started or longer?
Oh, longer.
Longer. Okay.
Yeah.
You got the itch to start taking some time off to do a little vacationing. And then for you, it evolved. And the respect I give you is that you kept thinking large. You didn't think small. And you kept thinking, how could I spend more time here? And even if there's an awful lot of successful shop owners that have started to do coaching, that are doing other things that they've always wanted to do in life. And they got great businesses, but they're also expanding their horizons, if you will, almost like serial entrepreneurship stuff.
If you have that entrepreneurial disease, then you're always thinking, what's possible next? What is possible? That's just the way I'm wired. I like to make progress, and it just comes naturally.
You're a wide thinker. That's some people that just can't get out of their own way. They're very narrow casted. They love routine. I don't think you're a person who likes routine at all, and you're constantly on the cutting edge of new ideas.
And I think that's where the coaching, if someone doesn't think they need coaching, if they talk to a coach and they get challenged and they start thinking wider, then it takes them out of that tunnel they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And any shop of any size can be whatever it wants to be.
Yeah.
If it wants to stay as a one-person shop and you're using EOS and you logic, that's how you want it to be, it's fine. Leave it that way. If you want to grow and you're constrained by the size of the building, move. Find where to move to. But see, all of those in EOS are issues. If it's an issue and you IDS it, identify, discuss, and solve with your team, and your team might be, as a one-man shop, it might be the team member, the shop owner, and a coach. And once you start the process and you turn those issues into to-do list items, pretty soon you're moving.
It's a perfect ending to this episode. We wanted to talk about EOS and, of course, the great workshop you do for the young people. And I love the way you summarize this thing. We had fun with the words "just start," and you summed it up. Get out of your own way. Expand your think. Get someone to hold you more accountable for it, and then involve your company and your people in EOS. You just don't have to have a big business to do it. There's a lot of small one shop, two shop. Yeah. And they're doing so well. And it has just allowed certain owners to either have an incredibly successful business without any other side work or expanding the horizons. As you said, the entrepreneurialism disease that a lot of people have. They're forever thinkers. John, so thank you so much for doing this and taking your time while you're getting ready for your weekly meeting. This was great. Gustafson Brothers, the CEO out in Huntington Beach, California. So appreciate you being here, man.
Been wonderful. Thank you very much.